everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video started off, I thought I was just gonna be doing like a monthly reset of the house. It's October, so happy October. But as I started working, I was not feeling motivated. I was not feeling inspired. So I decided to tackle a different project today. I said I was done with the basement, and I am mostly done with the basement. I will say that after completing the basement declutter, my basement still doesn't look great. Like the shelves on one side look pretty clean and clutter-free, but there's still like laundry everywhere, and the cat's litter boxes are down there. My husband has all of his tools, like everything that would go in a garage is in our basement. There was one area in particular that I did not tackle when I did our basement declutter, and that was where all of my husband's tools are. So I did decide today to go ahead and get that project done. Sometimes when I'm filming these videos, my decluttering and my organizing is not pretty, and today's one of those days. So I'm just hoping to inspire you guys to tackle the not so pretty projects, the not so fun projects. So the first thing that we'll do today in this video is tackle that project, and then after we're done with that, we'll see where the rest of the video takes us. I did a little like Old Navy haul unboxing of kids clothes for the coming season, so I'll share that at some point in the video. And then I also updated our family calendar for the month, so I'll share that in the video. But I don't know where this video is going to take us now that we're done with that basement project, so I guess let's find out together. But this video is sponsored by Dreamy, so thank you so much to Dreamy for sponsoring today's video. We'll take a break in a couple of minutes to talk about their X40 Ultra robot vacuum, but before we get to that, let's just head down into the basement so we can get that really not super exciting project done, but hopefully it's motivating for you guys. When it comes to maintaining my home, keeping up with my decluttering and keeping things organized, there are just some areas that I do not enjoy taking care of. There are the ugly spots, the unpleasant spots, the ones where I might uncover bugs or mouse poop. My entire home is not an aesthetic wonderland, so today we're taking care of one of those dreaded areas, and I hope that this motivates you to tackle one of yours too, because I know we all have them. And while these areas may not be fun, they may be kind of out of sight, out of mind sometimes, they still need to be dealt with, and they may be kind of subconsciously bothering you like this one was for me. So here we have our tool collection. I almost said my husband's tool collection, but honestly, I use these pretty often too. I am not the most patient person in the world, and when I have a project I'd like to get done, I need to do it immediately, and it's almost painful for me to wait around for someone else to help me do it. So over the years, I've kind of taught myself how to do some basic things, and therefore I also use these tools. And I find it incredibly frustrating when I'm looking for something down here and I can't find it because there's so much crap and it's all mixed up and all over the place. When I initially did our big basement declutter, I did not declutter this area because I wanted my husband to be home when I did it. I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting rid of something we need or he still wants, and he happened to be home early from work this day, so I decided to just get it done. I went from bin to bin and took everything out just like I would in any other declutter, and I did make some executive decisions, but I also consulted with him on a lot of it too to be safe. My goal with this project was to be able to find everything and visually reduce some of the clutter. I was surprised how much of the clutter on these shelves was trash, like empty boxes and things like that. So just getting rid of that alone made a huge difference. I will say I used to be pretty guilty of leaving empty packages around to deal with later, so I can't be too hard on my husband for that, but I have definitely stopped doing that in recent years. I'm waiting for the rest of my family to get the memo because the number of times I go to grab a snack and instead I pull out an empty container from the pantry or the fridge or freezer, it just happens way, way, way too often. There are so many different ways that you can declutter, and I give a lot of tips about decluttering, but today I want to talk about one way that I am personally not a fan of decluttering. I'm not saying this is bad or it's wrong, or if you do it that you should stop doing it. This is just my opinion. I see a lot of people do things like they'll place a laundry basket or a trash bag in their closet and fill it with clothes to declutter as they find them, and then when it's full, they bring it to the donation center. Or maybe they'll place a basket in the hallway to fill with items to declutter, and they'll drop that off once it gets full. Well, this does seem like a good method to stay on top of the clutter. I feel like for me personally, this would be a recipe for me to end up not actually getting rid of anything. I'd see that bag in my closet and either get sick of seeing it and decide to just hang everything back up, or I'd find myself digging through it and pulling stuff back out. I don't love the idea of visual clutter just sitting around for weeks or months until it's full enough to drop it off to donate. When I declutter, I need to get the stuff out of my house immediately. Otherwise, for one reason or another, the stuff will end up back in my house. I would love to hear in the comments if you've tried that method or if you've had success with that method. Did you know that you could clean your floors at the exact same time that you're tackling other projects in your home? With the Dreamy X40 Ultra robot vacuum, it is possible. So before we get any further into today's video, we'll be talking all about this powerful robot vacuum and all the things it can do. The Dreamy X40 Ultra features an industry-leading 12,000 PA suction, so your mess is no match for this machine. And this robot has some of the coolest features that I've personally seen on robot vacuums. So first of all, it has both an extending front brush and an extending mop pad, so you can be sure it's cleaning corners and curved furniture legs thoroughly. If you've got both carpet and hard floors, this robot can lift its side brush, main brush, and mop more than 10 millimeters depending on what cleaning mode you're in, and that helps prevent cross-contamination between wet and dry messes. So once the robot detects it's on carpet, it can just lift those parts right up and you don't have to worry about your carpets getting wet or any of the dirt from the mop pads making a bigger mess for you. What's even better is that this robot can actually remove its own mop pads. So if you ask it to clean your carpets only, it'll just leave the mop pads behind, and this ensures that your carpets stay dry. The star of the show for me with the X40 Ultra is the hands-free 7-in-1 auto base station. When the robot is all done, it returns to the base station and cleans your mop pads with hot water, which effectively removes dirt, but the best part, it also cleans its own washboard with a duo scraper that simultaneously cleans the washboard and the mop to keep both clean and eliminates the need to disassemble the base station to clean them yourself. I also love that it dries your mop pads with warm air because this prevents mildew from forming, which prevents odors. You guys know I can't stand it when my cleaning appliances stink, so this is a really key feature for me. The robot also auto empties, and you can go up to 75 days of use between changing out the dust bag. The Dreamy Home app allows you to customize cleaning routes, add your no-go zones, set your suction power and wetness levels, but something rather unique to this vacuum for me is the real-time camera. This helps the robot to identify and avoid objects like shoes and cords, but you can also view the camera from the app. I wanted to mention too that the obstacle avoidance on this robot is incredible. You can walk right out in front of it, as I'm doing here, and the robot will stop in its tracks and not hit you. It can glide between objects with ease, which is great for my house where there's usually toys all over the floor. The Dreamy X40 Ultra also has a headlight feature to brighten up dim lighting, and that, along with that camera feature, help the robot to again identify those obstacles and avoid them even when it's in a dark space. Clean Genius technology also identifies room types and recommends the most suitable cleaning strategy depending on the room. So I actually trust it to clean just as well, if not even better than me doing it myself. It can actually identify heavy stains and will automatically lift the side brush while reducing mop speeds for a more thorough breakdown of the stain. If you're in the market for a truly powerful robot vacuum, I would highly recommend the Dreamy X40 Ultra. I've had mine for several months now and it performs incredibly well, picking up all of our messes. Dreamy's having a Prime Day deal on the X40 Ultra, so now is the time to grab it. You can also use my code Elaine X40U to save an additional 5% off on top of the fall Prime Day discounts. I will have the Dreamy X40 Ultra linked in my description box below for you guys, so be sure to check there if you're interested. And before we get back to decluttering, I want to say thank you to Dreamy for sponsoring today's video. I heard somebody recently say that they call themselves minimal-ish instead of a minimalist. I have never heard someone call it that before, and I thought it was the absolutely perfect way to describe myself. I've been decluttering for about a year now, and I have shed so much excess stuff from our home, but I don't feel I fit into that category of being a minimalist. I still enjoy trying new things, the occasional shopping trip, but I feel like I see these things, like these shopping trips and trying new things, with a new set of eyes. I'm much better about asking myself, where am I going to store this item if I buy it? Do I have a need for it? What is the reason I even want this in the first place? I don't just blindly fill up my cart to figure it out later. Just today, as I'm recording these voiceovers, I took a trip to the Apple store to have the screen on my son's iPad fixed. I sat in the store and I stared at the AirPod Maxes and I struggled to not ask the person helping me to go grab me a pair. I left that store and I walked to Lululemon to pick up a pair of leggings that I had hemmed. Leggings I've had for a while now that were ripped. Instead of tossing them and buying a new pair, I just had them repaired. But anyway, I left that store with only the pair I had fixed and nothing else. I also stopped into a couple stores before I got back to my car and I bought absolutely nothing. And the moral of the story here is that you can just look and not buy anything. And also that once you kind of go through this process of ridding the excess clutter from your life, it becomes a lot easier to resist temptation and to live a more minimal-ish lifestyle. We had so many painting supplies in these buckets, and I don't think I have any painting projects coming up anytime soon, but it's definitely one of those things that it is good to have. And I try not to live by the words like just in case, or it could be good later, I might need it later, or whatever. I try not to do that, but I think in the case of painting supplies, this is one of those things that's good to have. You never know when you're going to need to touch something up, or if you decide to do a project down the road. It sucks to have to buy all new painting supplies every single time. So I did not get rid of any of the painting supplies really, except for one roller that we had. It was like a super long one, and this thing, from what I remember from using it the last time, it was a huge disaster. I remember it was just spilling paint absolutely everywhere because the sides of the roller kept touching like the paint tray as I was rolling, if that makes any sense at all. Anyway, I got rid of it, and I think that was the only thing that I got rid of for painting supplies. I remember a while back in a video, I was going through a bunch of instruction manuals that I had saved, and now here I am going through a bunch of instruction manuals that my husband had saved. And a lot of these were for things that we don't even have anymore, that were like sold at one point, or they broke or whatever, and we just been holding on to the instruction manuals apparently for all this time. So I got rid of a whole bunch of those. This whole organization project is not pretty. I'm just reusing all of the bins that were already down here, but now at least they are gone through and I know what's in every single one of them. And I did go through and label the bins, although I will say that the label maker I was using, it was my husband's label maker. Those were not sticking very well at all to any of the bins. So I'm sure they're going to fall off. I'm probably going to have to make some different labels or make some different choices here. But my point is that it does not need to be beautiful. It just needs to get done. So if you have an area like this in your home that might be subconsciously causing you a little bit of stress, go through it. You're going to feel so much better, and try not to focus so much on the looks of it and just focus on the functionality and how much better you're going to feel knowing that you know where everything is and there's not a bunch of excess clutter just sitting around collecting dust, or in our case, bugs and mouse poop. I would still love to get down into my basement and do a deeper clean once I really make sure that I have removed every single little bit of clutter that we have down here. Because even though I've done this big decluttering project, just by looking at the screen right here, it doesn't look very good. It still doesn't look nice down here. And I do still have some work I need to do down here now that I've gotten rid of the bulk of the clutter. But let me know if basement cleaning is something you guys would have any interest in, because I would definitely film that for you if it does. Again, like I said, we all have those kind of ugly spaces, the unpleasant spaces, and those need motivation just as much as the prettier spaces in our home. So again, let me know if you guys would like to see that. But I'm about to show you the after, and it looks so much better. Not perfect, but so much better. And the best part is we know where everything is. But now moving on to the prettier parts of my home. The first thing that I wanted to do once I finished that project, kind of random, but I wanted to update our family calendar for the month ahead. It was October 1st, the day that I was filming this video. So I really needed to get this done and update our calendar so I knew exactly what was going on in the next month. We have some pretty exciting plans in the month of October. My toddler is starting preschool, so that's really exciting for him, but also really sad for me. And also we have Halloween, of course, but we are traveling to New Orleans this month to go see Taylor Swift. So I'm really excited for that. I cannot wait. I've been counting down for so long. I feel like we got these tickets a really long time ago. So I'm very excited. I've never been to New Orleans before. If you guys have any recommendations of where we should go or things we should do while we're there, please let me know, because I know absolutely nothing as it's our first time going. Once I got our calendar updated, I just did a super quick tidy up of the living room. It really was not bad. It rarely takes me a long time, as long as I stay on top of decluttering the toys, to pick it up. You guys might remember I just filmed a declutter of Sutton's wardrobe, my toddler, going into the new season, and I was able to figure out like where there were gaps in his wardrobe. So I ordered a couple things from Old Navy because they have a line right now and it's called like the 1994 reissue line or something like that. So they're really like nostalgic clothing pieces, and I just thought they were so cute. So I wanted to get him a couple things from that line, but he mostly needed a couple pairs of pants because he has kind of long legs and like a really skinny waist, and Carson kind of had this issue too, but not to the same extent. So all of Sutton's pants fall down on him. They all fit perfect lengthwise, but they're just too big around the waist. So I had to get him a couple pairs of adjustable pants. He starts preschool in 11 days from the day that I'm filming this video. So I had to make sure he has enough clothes for when he goes to preschool. But yeah, from the 94 reissue line, I got these black cargo pants. They're really like wrinkly from being in the packaging, but just some black like carpenter style pants, and I think they're so cute. I love them. And then these ones, I think these are the same. They're just jeans, I believe. I think that they're the same pants, but yeah, they have like the little, I don't know what you call this detail there on the side, but oh my goodness, the little pockets. These just bring me right back to my childhood and remind me of like my older brother wearing stuff like this. So I just think it's so cute. And then I also got him these pants, which were from the 1994 line. So another pair of like cargo pants. So these three are all adjustable waist. So he should be good now for pants. And then I'm gonna take some fall pictures of my kids soon. I recently invested in a camera for photography. So I'm gonna start doing like my own seasonal photo shoots of the kids. So I grabbed Sutton just this flannel to wear for that. Then I got him a fleece for when it starts to get colder out. I thought this pattern was adorable. And I got him this color block shirt. I really like the colors of this. And I got him some sneakers. He also has some Paw Patrol sneakers, but these are good if he needs like a more neutral option and not like bright Paw Patrol shoes, depending on what he's wearing. And then Carson really didn't need too much going into this season, but I did get him some long sleeve shirts. So I got him a blue one, I got him a blue sweater, and then I got him a green long sleeve and this dark gray long sleeve. He did not need much going into the season. He's kind of at a point where his shirts fit him a little bit longer. So and his shirts also don't fall apart the way that his jeans do. So we can get more life out of the shirts than we can out of the pants for him. But anyway, a couple of shirts for the coming season, and then I also got myself a sweater because again, I'm gonna take some fall pictures of myself and the kids, and I didn't have a good like sweater to coordinate with what the kids are gonna be wearing for the pictures. So anyway, that's everything that we got from Old Navy. I'm gonna take all the tags off so I can wash all of this, and then we'll throw this in the laundry. And here's your reminder that even when you've decluttered your home, it is okay to still buy things sometimes. Like I said, I discovered some gaps in my kids' wardrobe. So I was able to fill those gaps after I finished decluttering their clothing for the coming season. So that is what this little Old Navy haul was, but it was kind of fun to share. Hope you guys enjoyed it. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you got some motivation out of it to tackle a space that's been neglected in your own home. Don't forget to check out the Dreamy X40 Ultra. I will have that linked in my description box down below. Thank you so much to Dreamy for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to all of you for watching, and I hope you'll come back again next week for another video.